Good evening. My name is Malcolm Batchelor, and for my comprehensive project, I had to complete a 6-week training program. 2 weeks stabilization, 2 weeks strength training, and 2 weeks power training. Each of those being a phase of the OPT model. I chose a basketball player. His name, for the sake of this uh, assignment, is Stone Jacob. He's a rising sophomore in high school. He's a point guard who is preparing to compete on the varsity level during his next school year. I'll be taking you through the stabilization phase first. But before I start, take you through the stabilization phase, I just want to say, explain why it's important that we go or start off with the stabilization phase. Basically, the stabilization phase will prepare the body for the high demands that will be placed on it later on in the training process. It's very important to stress to your athlete technique and how important technique is. Improper technique could cause major problems down the line because you would by performing the technique wrong, you would only be adding strength to dysfunction, which will lead to further imbalances that the athlete may already have, as well as increase the chance of injury in the future. All right. Before we start off in the stabilization phase, we're going to do a quick warm up. The warm up will include, as you can see in my demonstration, some dynamic stretching. The first of the dynamic stretching that I'll be performing are leg kicks. Now the goal in the warm up is to get those muscles loosened up. I'm about to, go through a lot of uh, uh, body movements in order to prevent injury, to get the blood flowing, to get my muscles ready to move. I need to get a proper warm up. So I'll start off with leg kicks, as you can see here. So I'll start off with leg kicks, and you're about a good 10 repetitions of the leg kicks that you see me doing here. And it's real, it's very important that you get a good dynamic stretch before beginning, because again, we don't want to hurt ourselves as we get into the exercise that we'll be performing. I will then go into alternating leg lifts, alternating leg lifts, which also are called Frankenstein walking kicks. Uh, then I will go into high knee grabs, again strengthening those muscles, getting the hamstring, getting the quads, getting those muscles loosened up for the activities that we'll be performing in this video. Next, I will be doing prisoner squats, getting those hamstrings. You want to keep your back straight, and you really want to, scoot your bottom back to feel that pull in the hamstrings to get a good stretch going. And after the good mornings, I'm sorry, I will do the prisoner squats. And for the sake of the video, I'm performing about 2 to 3 repetitions. But in your training, you'll probably perform maybe 10, a good 10, and focus on technique to get those muscles stretched out. Next, I would just do stationary side lunges. Like I say, about 2 to 3 reps would be sufficient. And from the stationary side lunges, I will go into the quad pulls. And like I said, we're about to. I think for the stabilization, I have about 8 different exercises. So we want to make sure we get a really good warm up. And all of these activities that are part of this dynamic stretch would do that. Lastly, I will go to the glute raise, which you see me about to do. And again, I'm not the most nimble of individuals, but you can basically see what I'm attempting to do here. And so these will be the glute raises. And again, we want to get, all the muscles that will be active during our workout. We want to get them stretched out. And lastly, we'll end up with some arm and shoulder rotations. Uh, you can see just some small circle forward, small circle backwards, shoulders forward. And again, while we won't address every single muscle that will be addressed while we're working out, we still want to get a pretty good warm up. to help prevent injury and to just make the body more flexible and ready to perform. All right, now we're about to start the stabilization, day one of the stabilization. I chose to use circuit training in order to do this. Basically, the acute variables, we would do 3 total sets, performing 10 repetitions of each exercise. And right now you see me doing the single leg squats. I will perform, like I said, 3 sets of 10. I'll do 10 on each leg, but for the sake of the video, just demonstration, I'm doing about 2 or 3 just so you can get an idea of what I'm doing. Immediately after I perform the single leg squats, we will go into the push-ups. And again, this is another stabilization exercise. Want to make sure as you go down in the push-up and come up that you lock it out. For the sake of this video, I will only do 4, but you will do 10 repetitions before you move on to the next exercise, before starting the next circuit. Next, I will go into the single leg overhead press. Now, for the sake of I didn't have the dumbbells, I'm just using the plates, and the weight that your athlete would be training at, that they felt comfortable using, that's what you would use. But as you can see, I'm balancing on my foot. It's important to use the drawing technique, draw that core tight, because that will help you maintain balance. All right, after I do the single leg overhead press, I will go into the plank or the iso abdominal series prone position. You want to hold that for about 30 seconds. And again, this is all part of the circuit training. From there, I will go into Bulgarian squats. And as you can see, I want to put my leg flat and back. I want to keep my shoulders straight. As you can see, I'm not the most nimble. I'm trying to maintain my balance. But it's important to get good depth as I do this exercise. And again, technique is very important. So you want to stress to your athlete that the technique of this is very important. Again, to prevent injury and to make sure that they're not, training their muscles to perform the exercise poorly. From the Bulgarian squat, we will go to the prone horizontal abduction. And for this, I'll use a medicine ball. Because I'm a little bit taller and my arms are long, I actually had to put the medicine ball on top of the plyo platform. Shorter people could probably just use the ball, but again, I had to use that to prop it up because my arms were so long. And basically, this is another stabilization exercise, part of the circuit training, and you will not fall like I almost did, but balance yourself. And you will bring, again, I'm using the plates, but you can use dumbbells. And again, you will use the proper weight for your athlete that they're comfortable doing. I only performed about 3 to 4 sets. You want to make sure you bring the dumbbells or the plates up as far as you can. Well, not as far as you can, but you want to get good height on the plates as you bring them up, or the dumbbells. All right. From there, I will perform a different variation of a push-up. This one will be with my legs on the ball, which makes it a little bit more difficult. And again, I'm trying to stabilize those muscles, core muscles, as well as shoulder and all the muscles that are active during the primary movers during this exercise. Your athlete will perform about 10 during this portion of the circuit training. But again, for this, I just did 3 or 4 just to give you an idea of what we're doing. We're coming to the end of the stabilization, and basically I would do the lunge to balance overhead. And again, because this is stabilization, you will find that, your athletes may have problems with balance. Just remember to tell them to use the drawing technique, make that core tight, and that will help them maintain balance. And as you can see, I'm struggling a little bit here. And basically, after I finish with the lunge to balance overhead, I will then perform a cool down, and that would actually be day one of my stabilization training. Thank you for watching, and that's it.